Well, anyone who knows me knows that I'm a longtime fan of Jethro Tull, and hence a fan of our guest today, Martin Barre, whose signature guitar work with the band helped to define their sound. Now that Jethro Tull is no more, Martin's embarked on a solo career a few years ago, which incorporates many, many live shows all over the world, as well as some new music. And his latest CD is called Back to Steel. He'll be performing tonight at BB King's and also Friday, April 22nd at Mexicali Live right here in Teaneck, New Jersey. It's a great thrill to welcome Martin Barre to the program today. Thanks so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure, and thank you for that lovely build-up and wonderful introduction.
Why, thank you. You've certainly earned it over the years, that's for sure. 43 years with Jethro Tull. I mean, absolutely remarkable.
Yeah, people say I got out because of good behaviour. But they're being cynical. Yeah, it's been an amazing 43 years, but the next few years are going to be even better.
Yeah, you know, Jethro Tull was something of a quintessentially English band, yet it was a band embraced by American audiences with an almost fanatical devotion. Can you speak a little bit about your relationship with American audiences then and now?
Well, it's always been amazing because back in '69, every musician in England, their dream was to fly over to the States and to. It was the most exciting thing you could. I mean, it still is the really fantastic journey. And, of course, it happened in '69, and, you know, really ever since then, my life in music has been so closely tied in with America. My wife's American, my son lives in America, and I guess it really is a second home. I've been here so much over the years, and for a good reason, because America is the sort of homeland of music.
And that reminds me, your new CD, Back to Steel, has a heavy blues rock sound on a lot of tracks. What were you listening to when you first picked up a guitar? Who inspired you?
Not a lot, because there wasn't much going on when I was a lad. But you know, I in England, absolutely nothing. We were hungry for American music, so Little Richard, Eddie Cochran, Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, anybody from America was devoured by me and my friends. We just desperate for music.
The blues rock sound of your new record kind of harkens back to the very early days of Jethro Tull, which was a little more blues-based, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I always look back at the early days, and they were just so exciting. The dynamics, the energy was really important to us, and I do look back at those days with a big fondness, and that is sort of getting back to the roots. I mean, everybody says I'm trying to get back to the roots. It's a bit of a tedious thing to say, but really, you know, for me, the early Tull was very guitar-based, lots of riffs, really cool riffs, and that's where I'm going back musically for my solo band and my writing as well. I just really it's me and a guitar. That's the ingredients that I need.
Speaking of writing, I want to talk about a couple of new tracks on the new CD, Back to Steel. In particular, a song called Sea of Vanity. Now, this isn't really a blues-based number, but it's sort of like a tongue-in-cheek expose of rock stars who take themselves a little too seriously. And, you know, I would think in the circles that you were in all throughout your career, you probably came across a lot of those.
It's funny you say that. What's a coincidence? Yeah, and of course I can't name names, but one day I shall write a book after I've spoken to a very good lawyer. Yeah, you know, you learn from bad people as much as you learn from good people. I just think I've met a lot of very strange musicians in my time. But, you know, you learn from them. You say, you know, that's not really the way you do things, and I don't want to be like that. So it's all part of the process. But, yeah, you've got that one spot on.
We're talking to Martin Barre. His Martin Barre Band will be performing tonight at BB King's in New York City, also April 22nd at Mexicali Live. Another track I want to ask you about, obviously you have some original materials, you reimagined some Jethro Tull songs, but one of the things that struck me was your cover of the Beatles song Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Eleanor on steroids. And now I'm a Beatle fan from the word go, so I know that you recorded with that song's author, Paul McCartney, in the late 80s.
Yes, I did. I often wonder if he's heard my version of it. I haven't heard from him, so he's either heard it and hates it, or he's yet to get the pleasure of listening to it. I had an amazing and very interesting week with Paul McCartney, and he is a wonderful musician and an unbelievable singer, which is the main thing that I learned from that week. And he every time we ran through a song, he would sing full on every time. And I've got to give that guy a lot of credit. He's amazing. It was good fun, and to me, I was brought up on the Beatles, and they were always my favourite band. So I wrote Eleanor Rigby as an instrumental about 15 years ago, and to play with Tull, and we never did it. So I sort of built on that to put it on the CD with the vocals.
Yeah, it sounds really great, and I'm assuming when we see you perform live, you'll be doing that cut. What else will you be doing at the shows?
Well, I do a bit of early Tull, teacher, minstrel, the songs that haven't been played for many, many years. And I know, particularly in America, the Tull fans really miss hearing those songs. And then other Tull songs like Fat Man, I've made it a sort of heavy rock version, sort of lots of big guitars in it, and really heavy 4/4. We do some blues thing, we do Smokestack Lightning, we do Steal Your Heart Away. There's a whole mixture of things in there, and we've got a huge catalogue that we can draw from. I've got my Back to Steel, I've got some my own earlier solo albums. There's so much Tull. And then, sometimes I just like doing something because I love it. And we play Blackest Eyes, Porcupine Tree. Sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah, just because we love it. Why not?
So where can people get the record and find out information about you?
The record should be released very shortly in worldwide, and that information will be on Facebook and on my website, martinbarre.com. All my gigs are on the website, but I've got a big chunk of time coming up later in the year. August, September, October in the States. 5 months next year in the States.
Wow.
I'm back.
Well, we weren't kidding about American audiences embracing you.
Yeah, that says it all. Yeah, I've waited 4 years, and now I'm really pleased to be here.
Fantastic. Once again, tonight at BB King's, April 22nd at Mexicali Live, Martin Barre, I would say currently of the Martin Barre Band, has been our guest, formerly of Jethro Tull, now with his own project. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. You have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye.